to grow. Agriculture is Nebraska's #1 industry, accounting for 1 of every 3 jobs in the state. So we at NTV, we're bringing you this show dedicated to Nebraska family farmers and ranchers. Our Grow co-host, Steve White, sat down with some local farmers and ranchers to find out what it is you would like to see on this show.
In rural America, there's still that disconnect.
On his family farm, Mark McHarg raises hogs and raises awareness. We sat down with family farmers, advocates for egg, or eggvocates they call themselves, to find out what issues are important.
We can talk about new and emerging technologies even more. I mean, you guys do a pretty good job of covering that stuff.
I think you need to tie that to your cow-calf producers.
NTV's Grow will strive to bring you the latest information of interest to farmers and ranchers, while remembering the decisions consumers have.
You know, I think there's a lot of things that people are interested in.
And not afraid of the controversial issues, the ones farmers say create an uproar.
That happens with about every issue that comes.
With a regular place to see the latest in egg.
Watch NTV 10:35 Sunday night.
We'll also honor a farm family and farm youth of the month and have information for those a step removed from the farm but connected whether they know it or not.
What does your dad or mom do that helps or that agriculture supports?
And now we get to address some of those issues with Governor Dave Heineman. Back in January, he raised the ire of many of those in the ag industry with his tax reform proposal. This proposal could have raised the cost of feed, fertilizer, and large equipment. Since then, though, he's dropped that plan, saying it would be too difficult to balance the needs of rural and urban Nebraska. Here's the exclusive interview with Governor Dave Heineman.
Pleased to be joined on our inaugural broadcast of NTV's Grow with Governor Dave Heineman. Governor, often called a friend of agriculture. You get out there and visit farms, and there's a lot of good stuff happening out there in agriculture, and I'm sure you're excited just to share that message.
You know, I'm very excited about the state of agriculture in this state. It's the #1 part of our economy. We had a record net farm income in 2011, a record $7.5 billion, 87% increase over the previous record. You know, we're second on cattle on feed, third in corn production, sixth in soybean, second ethanol producing state in America. A lot of good things going on, Steve.
And a lot of that despite the fact that we had this drought.
You know, we've had our challenges with the drought, but the fact of the matter is our farmers are very efficient, very productive.
Last week, you and I were in Chapman, Nebraska with Norm Krug and Preferred Popcorn. There's a case, a guy from the thriving metropolis of Chapman, Nebraska, who is selling popcorn to Israel and India and China, a big market like that. You visited China last year.
Steve, this is a great success story, and we've got numerous ones all across Nebraska. Here you think, Chapman, Nebraska. I think they told me 292 people live there now, and they're exporting to 55 different countries. We're the #1 popcorn producer in America. I was in China 90 days ago. It's our fastest growing export market. The other thing they're thinking about in China and other Asian countries is to put their processing plants and North American headquarters right here in Nebraska. Instead of shipping our raw materials over there, process it here and send the finished product over there. So again, a number of things that are ongoing that are very important for agriculture.
And I think also very cool, we've done reverse trade missions here, but we've also tried to step up our outreach with actual trade offices in some of these places, right?
You know, those reverse trade missions have been very, very helpful. We get them over here for 3 or 4 days at a time. And then again, you know, about 6 years ago now, we opened the Japan trade office that's been very productive, very helpful to Nebraska agriculture and Nebraska business. And then again, we're going to officially open our China office here in about the middle of March, and that'll be exciting.
Well, I was going to ask you about tax policy. We had a tax proposal this year. Certainly we're going to revisit that. Agriculture, that has to be part of any conversation going forward about modernizing our tax climate, right?
It's almost as if we have a two-economy state. One is our big land mass, agriculture-oriented, and property taxes are too high. That's the issue for them. And then you've got the eastern side of our state. It's a wage-based economy. We're trying to grow it. And if you're going to grow it, you need lower income taxes. So we've got to find a way with tax policy to lower property taxes, lower income taxes, to be more job competitive for the future, because the states that are growing the fastest right now are those with a low income tax rate, or better yet, no income tax rate at all.
Certainly we have some challenges in agriculture, but these are pretty good times that we need to celebrate.
We should celebrate agriculture right now. Again, it's the #1 part of our economy. It's stronger than it's probably ever been. And if you look out over the next 30 years, we've got to feed 2 billion more people, probably on less land than we have today. The trend line is going to be very positive. Now, there'll be challenges along the way, ups and downs, but by and large, we're in very good shape and a bright future indeed for agriculture.
Governor, thanks for being with us.
Glad to be with you.
Nebraska farms are on the decline, and feedlots are facing a reduction in inventory. Here's a look at the headlines going on in agriculture this week. The total number of Nebraska farms and ranches declined slightly in 2012. The Department of Agriculture says the total slid to 46,700 last year. That's down from the previous year's 46,800 and 47,200 in 2010. The average farm size was 974 acres last year, down 2 acres from the year before. Years of drought are reshaping the beef industry as feedlots and a major meatpacking plant close because there are too few cattle left to supply them. Some feedlots in major cattle-producing states have been dismantled. Others are sitting empty. Operators say they don't expect a recovery anytime soon, thanks to the high feed prices, the recent drought, and the time needed to rebuild herds. Dealing with the drought is one thing. Now there's something else threatening jobs in the ag community. With the sequester taking effect, Agriculture Secretary Tom Vilsack warns food inspector jobs could be on the line. Now, Senator Mike Johans wants to know more. He sent a letter to Vilsack asking what these auto spending cuts could mean to workers. Johans has his own take on the so-called sequester. He visited central Nebraska last month during a break from the U.S. Senate. He blames the president for cutting the wrong things.
And I sometimes wonder if the Obama administration is setting this up to do the things that will irritate people the most and then blame it on the political party that they don't like, the Republicans. And I just think it's wrong.
The White House says it's up to Congress to fix the problem. The president says the sequester will trigger job cuts that will cut vital services. Some government workers could be furloughed. In the USDA, which Senator Johans used to oversee, that could include meat inspectors.
I can't imagine, if I were Secretary of Agriculture, why I would ever think about laying off or furloughing people who are responsible for food safety.
Johans says that could disrupt packing plants and hurt livestock producers. Senator Deb Fischer says USDA should cut travel and operating expenses first. Ranches and farms like this one can open up several job opportunities. It's still a business, and like in any business, discrimination can happen. Now there is a claims resolution process to address this issue, if needed.
Congress has provided some funds to help settle claims that women and Hispanic farmers might have against Farm Service Agency.
How far back could it go?
This goes back to 1981 through 2000 is the period covered by this claims process.
The deadline to apply is coming up quickly, March 25th. Go to farmerclaims.gov to start the process. If there is a problem with an animal, a veterinarian is a phone call away. They play a crucial role in livestock operations. And now some Nebraska veterinarians and livestock producers are a part of a video series on YouTube.
They're not just general run-of-the-mill type animal. People expect you to be on top of your game.
Veterinarians on-call videos show what it's like to be on the job, caring for animals in farms and ranches. More than 20 vets across the U.S. participated.
Lately, she's been limping on her left front foot, which I thought was the best one.
All right, well, let's get her turned over.
I'd much rather be safe than sorry.
Oh, yes, sir.
The videos are presented by Zotis, and you can find the whole series on YouTube. Calving season is underway for many livestock producers out here in the area. This means some really long days and sleepless nights. Another thing about farmers and ranchers is sometimes they're forced to be creative. They use what they have to keep those babies alive, healthy and warm. farmers and ranchers, you guys do that kind of stuff. You come up with solutions.
You
right?
do. You splint a leg if it isn't shaped quite right, just like you said. If it's very, very cold outside and we're out of inside stall space during calving, we have made little mittens for their ears. And I say a mitten, it's more of a headband. We cut up the sleeves of old sweatshirts and we tape them around the head of the calf so their ear tips don't get frosted.
And Dawn explains how this is a rewarding time of year and shares more about calving season next week on NTV's Grow. Doctors say you should have a diet that keeps your cholesterol in check. Well, did you know you could do that by eating Nebraska beef? Find out more after the break here on NTV's Grow.